Good evening, Wisdom Tree.
Good evening, Rahul.
I have a doubt. Is subtraction of fractions similar to subtraction of regular numbers?
Let me clear your doubt by telling how the princess learned subtraction of like fractions. As you know, Rahul, Bhim is always hungry. When he's doing nothing, he's busy daydreaming about the tasty food that Guru Mata prepares. One day, while he was passing by the Gurukul kitchen, he got the smell of cake that was being baked by the Guru Mata. Bhim immediately ran into the kitchen. The cake baked by Guru Mata was looking delicious. Bhim offered to help Guru Mata so that he could get a piece of the cake as a reward. She cut the cake into 16 pieces. She gave him some strawberries and cashew nuts in 2 boxes and asked him to place them on top of each slice of cake. Bhim started to place cashew nuts on each piece of cake one by one. But he realized that he was able to top only on 12 pieces of the cake with cashew nuts. Then he started placing a strawberry on the cakes which were already topped with cashew nuts. As there were only 4 strawberries, he could top only 4 cakes.
Bhim, what is the fraction of cake that has only 1 cashew nut as toppings?
Bhim was unable to answer. Guru Mata suggested that before he will get any cake for eating, he should go to Guruji and clear his doubt. So Bhim ran to Guruji and asked his doubt. Then Guruji said it was time for them to learn about subtraction of like fractions in their class. So he asked everybody to gather around him and started the lesson.
What portion of the fraction is shaded in the given diagram?
The figure is divided into 8 equal parts and 5 parts out of 8 parts are shaded. So, the fractional part of shaded region is 5 by 8.
Now, I have crossed some shaded regions. How many shaded regions are crossed with lines? What is the fraction of crossed shaded region?
3 shaded regions are crossed and 3 out of total 8 parts are crossed. So the fraction of crossed shaded region is 3 by 8.
From the diagram, it is clear that the fraction of shaded region which is not crossed is 2 by 8. This is obtained by subtracting the fraction of crossed shaded region from the fraction of shaded region. That is 5 by 8 minus 3 by 8. You can notice while subtracting the fractions, we subtract only the numerator and keep the same denominator. So 5 by 8 minus 3 by 8 is 5 minus 3 by 8 equal to 2 by 8. In the previous class, you have learnt about addition of like fraction. How do you add like fractions?
We added the numerators of the fractions and wrote the sum over the same denominator.
Good. In the same way, for subtraction, we have to subtract the numerators and write the difference over the same denominator. Now let us subtract 3 by 5 from 9 by 5. So, what are the numerators?
The numerators are 9 and 3.
Yes. Now, by subtracting 3 from 9, we get 6. Write 6 over the denominator 5. Hence, the difference of 9 by 5 and 3 by 5 is 6 by 5. Subtract 4 by 11 from 10 by 11. Here, the denominator is 11 and the numerators are 4 and 10. By subtracting 4 from 10, we get 6. Thus the answer is 6 by 11. Let us do an application problem in subtraction of fractions. A child studies for 9 hours in a day and in particular he spends 5 hours on maths. How many hours he spends on other subjects?
Guruji, there are 24 hours in a day.
Very good.
As he spends 9 hours in a day for studying, fraction of hours spent on studies in a day is 9 by 24.
He spends 5 hours for mathematics in a day. So the fraction of hours he studies maths was 5 by 24 hours.
Good.
Now to find out how many hours he spends on other subjects, we need to subtract 5 by 24 from 9 by 24. So 9 minus 5 by 24 equals to 4 by 24. Therefore, the fractional part of a day spent to study other subjects is 4 by 24 hours.
Now, Bhim, let us see how many pieces of cake had only cashew nuts as toppings.
Guru Mata divided the cake into 16 equal parts. At first, I started to add cashew as topping. I was able to put them only on 12 pieces of cake, that is 12 by 16. Later, I placed strawberries on 4 pieces of cake, which is 4 by 16. So, the fraction of cake which has cashew nut topping is 12 by 16 minus 4 by 16. Now, I have to subtract 4 from 12. It is 8. So, the answer is 8 by 16. 8 parts out of 16 have only cashew nut toppings.
Bhim, that was good. Now, go and get us all a piece of cake. You can have one extra.
Bhim ran off like a rocket to get the cake. Rahul, hope you too understood all the above concepts.
Yes, I have. All that talking about sweets has made my mouth water. I am going home and ask mother to prepare a cake for me.
Haha. Goodbye, Rahul.
Goodbye.